groups of people that play in it. There's the very first movers that are higher risk and will go into a neighborhood and buy real estate when it makes no sense. The dollars, the cash flow, the analysis, nothing makes sense, but they see something there that nobody else sees. Then you'll have the second movers, which is typically the artists and the creatives that move into a neighborhood because it's starting to get hip and it's cool. There's some really funky restaurants, but still a little scary because it used to be a dangerous area. And then there's the third group that comes in once their kids start telling them about these awesome restaurants and areas. Then they start buying up all the real estate and it's too late. The creatives move out because it gets gentrified and it's not cool anymore, right? Media platforms, the whole world is kind of like that, especially when it comes to attention. I mean, you're in the business of sales and marketing, you're in the real estate business, but you're also in the attention business and the media business. So for me to sit down with a guy like you and hear your insights, and I'm taking notes and these bells are going off, it's going to impact my digital strategy for the next year or 2 years. I'm going to pay a little bit closer attention to different things, and I'm going to disseminate that down to my organization and then my community and the people that I know that own businesses. And we all get better as a collective because we're putting in the work consistently and you're doing it, right? So I appreciate you for taking the time and telling me everything that you're telling me, because it's helping me formulate a plan, because the world's moving faster than I think anybody's ever experienced before.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when you talk about so if you think about the main form of communication, in the media, we had radio broadcasts from the late 1800s up until like the 60s be like one of the main forms of media consumption outside of the newspaper. And then TV took over around the 70s into the early 2000s, half that time frame. And now we have this phone, which has become everything with so many different little subcategories, because you can also have audio and video, and soon we're going to have AR and we're going to have all these other things. It's just about paying attention to those minute little details and those tiny little things. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you don't even have to put money in. Like Clubhouse is a great example for both of us, man. We didn't have to put in any money to be in there early. It was simply an investment of time. At the end of the day, either A, you lost the time, or B, your time's going to be multiplied here on and there, forward, whatever word I was trying to say, because you were on early. You were one of the trendsetters. At the very least, you just wasted your time. And there are people will say, well, man, I don't want to waste my time. I swear to God, if I could see your entire day, hour by hour, you waste hours of your time doing nothing. Yep. I would much rather be sitting on the toilet in a Clubhouse room than just, diddling around on TikTok. So it's yeah. And I appreciate you, man. When it comes to the changes in the world, we need each other. Let's talk about a big subject, Zillow. I mean, everyone's scared out their mind on what Zillow is going to do, but why? Why? There's still travel agents out here destroying it, and Travelocity and all them been around since, trying to take over the hotel industry since 2003, 2004. They're still here 17 years later. I just don't understand the concept of fearing the person above you, because everyone has a boss and everyone has a superior. Everyone has someone else they're scared of. Like, for example, let me lay out a way that real estate agents could be out of business by the end of the year. Jeff Bezos comes and says, I'm not the CEO of Amazon anymore, so now I'm starting Bezos Realty. If you want your home listed, it's going to be listed with us, and it's going to be listed on Amazon. I'm also buying out all these MLSs, and you're not allowed to use them anymore. And that will literally be 0.0111111% of his bank account. He's done all that. Then he's going to hire out an entire factories worth of people. And he's going to take us agents who are now scrounging for business and say, for 1%, you can represent them as an agent. We get the rest of the percent, or you can get paid on salary to be one of our buyer's agents located out of a warehouse, just like their products. And we're gone and we're done. And in the meantime, he's also made Bezos coin, which means you can only purchase with this cryptocurrency. And he's going to build up his own stock portfolio while running this entire business, because crypto goes up with the more people that use it. Like, you can sit here and fearmonger all day, but people can do that for years and years and years. Fear, and not do anything, when they really had 18 years worth of time. They could have been building up a business, making money, making investments,
relationships, skill sets,
all of this they could have been doing for 18, 20 years. Yeah. People have been saying Zillow. This is not the first time people have been starting to talk about Zillow. This has been conversation like 2008, 2009, ever since the crash happened. People didn't think realtors were going to recover from the crash because they thought Zillow was going to come through and eat everything up.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a new horror story. At the end of the day, though, I would much rather say, you know what, there's a chance that could happen. But over the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years, I'm going to grind my ass off. So that when and if it does happen, I have other options. I have money set aside. I have relationships. You know, me and Justin are going to go start a barber shop now because we've been cool for the past 10 years. Like, it's
I said to
silly.
my wife the other day, I'm like, what we're doing in our world anyways, I could quit real estate tomorrow and still be okay. I can open a jiu-jitsu academy or a coffee shop or whatever it's going to be, because the same principles apply
Business is
across
business.
industries, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Business is business. It's relationships.
Talked about this the other night. I remember I was in my backyard. We were in a clubhouse room talking about this, and we were talking about skill sets. And that's the last thing we're going to dig into here is, you know, developing these skill sets. And it's not a how or when, it's an integral thing that people have to understand they need to do to be successful in the future. You know, when was the first time you ever put out a piece of short form content? Or take me through that TikTok journey, because I know a lot of people watching, they see the numbers, they want to get there. Cool. We talked about the work. Like, walk me through the actual work of what it took you to identify that that's something you wanted to do, develop the skill set, and then, you know, adapt along that journey.
So it's going to sound easier because there's one factor that I'm going to have to include in this. So TikTok was a perfect example of the supply and demand of the social media landscape. Tons of people consuming, not a lot of people creating. That's why IG Reels has people going viral. That's why TikTok still has people going viral, because there are way more consumers than there are creators. It's the reason why YouTube for a while was getting extremely difficult, because everybody was trying to get a YouTube. And it's the reason why it's very difficult to grow on Instagram, because so many people who have Instagram also create, they put out posts. So with TikTok, early 2019, I had a friend of mine put me onto it. I ignored him at first, picked it up in April of 2019, and I just started making videos. I was watching, I was consuming, I was learning the same exact way I played basketball, the same exact way I'll play chess, the same exact way I'll play, you know, as being a chef at a restaurant. I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to watch these other people do it and learn. Mm-hmm. So I sat and scrolled TikTok and just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. Had it in my calendar to scroll TikTok.